never down, never.
Hello everyone, so this is my dining room. At the moment it's pretty bland. It doesn't have any pizzazz, any pop, anything at all. So if you'd like to see the transformation of this dining room into my dream dining room, please keep watching.
I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again.
So guys, I plan to use this satin black spray paint to paint the chairs just so it can give it a nice finish.
Stronger than I ever been. I can see everything clearer.
So guys, these are some tools I'm going to use to contact paper the seats. I'll use the ruler to make a line on the bottom of the chair, and then I will connect that with the line at the top of the chair. Once I look and we look at it, it's a straight line. I'll go ahead and extend the line from the bottom of the chair all the way to the side and to the front so we can see it on the front as well. So now that's a line too. Instead of using one big sheet, I'm going to put it in half, and once the corners are met, I will cut right on that line in there just so that I can make sure everything is even. So now that they're separated into two pieces, I will go ahead and show you how lumpy it is on the front half. I will take it in sections. I'm going to pull it down about 1 inch, smooth that out, and just work in small sections. Once we get to the top, I'm going to align it to the black lines we drew earlier. You can see that even though it's aligned, it's got some bumps in it. So I'll pull back one side from the contact paper and then fold it over and smooth it out so that those ripples are a little bit softer now. Do the same to the other side. And now going forward, I'm going to take my smoother and just work in small sections. Make sure that first one you put down is smooth so it doesn't move in the future. Pull it down 1 inch as you go just to make sure you're working in small sections. Smooth that down and just continue the process until you get to the end of the contact paper. If there's any air bubbles left at the end, I just smooth them out with my thumb and my smoother just so I can make sure I can get it as flat as possible. Now the edge here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it to make sure that we do that in small sections. I'll take a Sharpie and fill that in just so that if the flaps don't lay down over each other, there isn't any of the brown wood sticking out. Now to do the curve of the contact paper, again I cut it in small sections, and then I will go back with a Sharpie again to color that in, make sure no flap overs cause any of the brown to seep through. Stretch that with the blow dryer and then pull it really tight in order to make sure that the curve lays flat on the other side.
You say that you're sorry. We turn the page and make up.
So this is the finished product on that seat top. There are some dents in it. That is not from the contact paper. That's from when we first originally put the table together. So aside from those dents sticking out, I really think the contact paper, you can't detect it right now. You can't see my mistakes, and it's very smooth corners. So this is one of the first chairs that I did. I had some trouble learning how to use the contact paper, which resulted in my need for all of this tape. So in the end of this video, I will mention a staple gun. I just went ahead and stapled the flaps down because it made it much easier and a much smoother process. So here we have the bottom of the table. I've already done the top in sections. I've done one straight down the middle and one corner, and now I'll flip it over to show you how I do the rest in sections. And I'm doing the top, like I said, in sections, so the middle and this corner are complete. Now I'll just get this corner and that whole side. I only have one roll of contact paper left. I think it's enough because I only need half of one, and then I'll just use the rest to do that one long half, and then I'll be done. So finally the table will be finished and I can screw it together and we can all see the final outcome. So working with the corners, I've already prepped it with the Sharpie on the brown. Now we'll just take the blow dryer and we'll do this for about 30 seconds. And while you're blow drying, just make sure you pull it tight, because that makes it easier for when you pull it over and under, because then it's just a much smoother process. So while you're pulling over the flap, make sure that you've got it nice and tight, and that when you lay it down, that's your final choice because you can't lift it back up. Take the smoother and smooth it out. You want to get as many air bubbles out as you can. You don't want them to seep up through the contact paper. Use your finger, use the smoother. If there are tabs left on the contact paper, I usually just take scissors and cut them off. And if I can't lay the tabs down completely or cut them off, I'll take my staple gun. I will staple it to make sure it holds it down. And then I'll use a hammer to make sure that the staples are securely in the table. So in order to find the chair holes for the table, I went ahead and took a box cutter and just cut around them for access. And voila, that's the top.
Hey.
A fraud.
No, this is the last table I was just working on for the day. But,
So while you were at work, you weren't doing your job. You were working on tables.
All right, and that is the table up after everything's been spray painted. The contact paper has been applied. I bought this nice rug from Amazon. The one I had before was way too small. I had to order a completely different rug just so that it could be big enough to surround the table. As you can see, the closer you get, you can see the imperfections in the table. You can just see where I had to cut some corners to apply the contact paper, but from far away, you can't tell that much. On some of the chairs, you can really tell some imperfections where I didn't make the contact paper meet in the middle. So those chairs, I'm mostly going to put them in the back of the table. No one will really be able to see them, and I'll just tuck it away. There is a split in the table. That was all my doing. I accidentally ripped the paper while I was pulling the contact paper. It was not this wide in the beginning. After the table has settled, it did spread apart some more. So I hopefully can go in with a Sharpie and just fill it in. It's not as noticeable since it's so tiny. I'm just zooming in right now. So we went ahead and put Nipsey Hussle in one of our picture frames because he is one of Sam's favorite artists and he has sadly passed away. But in his memory, we went ahead and put a picture of him up. I went on Google and found this image. I had to blow it up and I used Walgreens posters in order to make the picture, and I got the picture frame from Walmart for about 12 bucks. These two accent pieces came from Goodwill. The top one was actually $1.30 and the bottom was only 99 cents. When I picked it up, I knew immediately that it was going to match the look I wanted. They are a little worn, but not so much that you can tell. We had to makeshift some screws in order to fix it to the wall, but for the price, I thought it was awesome. So I knew going in that I wanted a big picture that had a quote in it, but I couldn't think of any other quote that I could look at every single day. And since this was Nipsey's quote, what he lived by, what my husband lives by, I went ahead and decided to make another poster from Walgreens. And I just put the marathon continues in the middle. It was about $18 $12 for the poster, and the frame was about $14 at Walmart. So in all with the decorations, I wanted to stay on budget. Luckily, I found a lot of these things at discounted prices. Majority of the things here are from Pier 1 or Target. This lovely lantern was on sale at Target for 30% off. I believe I paid $16 for it. I wanted something that was a little unique, a little different, and since this was a lantern that I'd never seen before, I thought it'd be a perfect piece for the table. So I got these decorative balls from Pier 1. They were around $1 a piece. I love that they went with my black and white theme. They have some texture to them, so I thought it added a little bit of flavor. I'm going to go ahead and use these to put them inside the lantern just to give it a little bit of a pop. White Fall in Love with Your Life ball was about $6. It was the most expensive thing I bought at Pier 1. I just thought Fall in Love with Your Life was something I could look at every day. And I also bought this succulent for about $1, so I thought that was a great buy. It was a little bit of greenery, probably the only greenery we have in the house, so at least we have some greenery. So I got these placemats at Pier 1. They were originally $1.50 a piece. But she only rang me up for one, so I only paid $1.50 for both. But of course my karma kicked in, because when I got home, I noticed that the front has like some gray stripes and brown stripes. So of course I have to keep it on the back now where the tag shows, but for $1.50 for both, I cannot complain. These plates were from Pier 1. They were about $4 a piece. I wanted something that wasn't so shiny because the table's shiny, the pictures are shiny. So this matte black stone look fit in perfectly. So I got these cups from Target. They were about $4 a piece. However, I did notice when I got home how foggy they were compared to the lantern. I washed them, I dried them, nothing's changed. So I guess that little touch of fog may add some dimension to the glass. So I'll just keep it for now. I got these forks and spoons from Target. They were about $1.25 a piece. I did not get a knife because I didn't think it needed a third element. That's just my taste. I love the square bottoms on these, how thin they were and shiny. It's just a good mixture for me. Alright guys, thank you so much if you've stuck with me through this entire video. I hope you enjoyed my dining room redo. It was very fun. It was nice to test myself and my creativity. I loved how everything turned out. I stayed within my budget, so that was probably the most important part for me. But if you do like these videos, please keep watching. Like, subscribe to my channel because I will be moving on to the next room. And if you want to see what goes on behind that door, please keep watching.